Hello, it is only Oracle here today with a pick a card reading. So today we have a love letter from your future spouse. We have 4 piles here. Pile 1, the Groundhog Spirit. Pile 2, Buffalo Spirit. Pile 3, the Giraffe Spirit. And pile 4, the Turtle Spirit. I have some lovely letters here to read, and then we're going to look at some cards. So, whenever you're ready, you can choose a pile and then jump to the timestamp in the description box or in the comments to get your reading. Okay, I'll see you at your timestamp. Bye. Hi, Pile 1. Before we get started on your reading, I just wanted to let you know that about 3/4 of the way through, my audio cut off, so I had to re-record the message. And therefore, if the gestures don't quite match or it doesn't seem like it quite syncs correctly, just know that is because I had to re-record. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the reading. Okay, hello, Pile 1. If you picked the groundhog, then this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start with the letter, and then we'll go through and we'll get any other messages they want to give to you or things about themselves they might like to tell you. So, excuse my handwriting, it's chicken scratch, but let's read this. Hello, my fairest of them all. You make me nervous. How could anyone as great as you see any worth in someone like me? It scares me. I want to keep you close, but I'm afraid of my own heart, of losing it to you. But you know what? You can take it. You can trample it. Do whatever you want with it because it and I am yours. I hope you find me worthy, and I hope you can be gentle with me and my heart. I hesitate because once you're mine, I won't be able to let you go. You'll live in me always. I hope you recognize the severity of getting involved with someone like me. And signed always, your future spouse. So right away with this letter, wow. Actually, let's go through it one more time just because. I'm not going to read it again, but I just feel like your future spouse, they've been hurt before. I guess that's kind of apparent here by the way they say, I hesitate because once you're mine, I won't be able to let you go. And the fact that they're afraid of losing their own heart really just points me to the idea that they have been in at least one serious relationship, if not more, or if they haven't been in a serious relationship, they have been in a series of relationships where people have hurt them or taken advantage of them. This is definitely someone who has felt taken advantage of. Another message I was getting is that this person in particular really likes to build a home. They really like having a comfortable home. If you got together, like your home would be your sanctuary. They would definitely work to make the home warm, I think is what the word I'm looking for. The home would be warm and loving and just rather blissful altogether. So we got some tarot cards here. We're going to see what other messages they have for you. Messages from Pile 1's future spouse. Messages from Pile 1's future spouse. Oop. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Swords. So yeah, I think they're a little more timid when it comes to going after the things they really want, because they're scared that that person or that thing will hurt them. I'm also seeing a lot of them may have had a relationship in the public eye, or they had a bad breakup in the public eye. This may be someone who has quite a bit of followers, on social media, or just in general, they have a lot of people who look up to them and admire them, or who kind of watch what this person does. So they're very cautious about, I think, what they choose to post if they do. I'm also seeing that, they've definitely been hurt before. This is not a person who trusts very easily. So when they give you their trust, it's definitely indicative that you're the person for them. It's definitely, no matter the energy that comes this person gives off, because I'm not quite sure. For a lot of you, this person could seem very confident, or very like popular, has it all together, couldn't care less. But underneath that, they're really they're really sensitive, and really past heartbreak is something that still haunts them. Like, because this is your future spouse, I don't necessarily think they have like leftover feelings for their past lovers, but it's more so like what the idea of what someone represents. I think this person tends to build homes in people, like in people. And it's not like this is your future spouse, so they're not. It's just they're very sensitive. Like, to give, right? When they decide to give up their heart, they do it wholeheartedly. Like there's no. That's it. They're done. They're not gonna play the field. So it's definitely not someone you have to worry about like cheating or anything. They may actually have been cheated on in the past, or just lied to. Like, people led them on, made them believe that they felt as deeply as this person did, even though they didn't. Let's see what else. We're gonna switch decks here. Okay, we're gonna ask about this person's past. So, what is the past of pile number 1? Okay. Oh yeah, okay, so this is definitely someone who has some sort of following, some sort of like amount of people watching them. Yeah, I'm getting a YouTuber. What else? Like a TikToker. Even just the job they work at, they're well known. Like, this is definitely someone who has a level of fame in their life. And that's actually hurt them. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually hurt them. Like, I don't know, something about words and communication, like either their words, their relationship with like the media, or the relationships that people started with them because they were like famous or because they had some sort of following, has left this person guarded. Yeah, because even though they come off, see, yeah, I told you, this person is very, like, I don't think if you met this person, you would think, oh, this is such a sweetheart, this is such a sensitive soul. Like, no, that's not how they come off. But underneath that, with the Empress here too, they are definitely sensitive. It's like cute. Like, I'm laughing because it's endearing. Like, they're sensitive in a very sweet way, like a very sensual. Once they're almost like, it's not quite romantic, but it does have an air of romanticism to it. So yeah, they're very loving people. So let's see. And let's see, do they have any other messages for how they like to receive love or give love? Any other messages? How they like to receive or give love, Spirit? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm definitely feeling this one. And then the Nourish Your Temple. So yeah. Once again, with this create art, it's coming through that they have, I'm going to move these over. They have some sort of artistic ability that I personally think has acquired a following of some sort on some platform or the other. And so they're watched. I get that. Like, they are watched. They are watched by other people, and that is something that they've had to navigate with relationships, and relationships haven't always been healthy because of it. And so I think what they're really looking for is someone who is sincere with them. I mean, we're going to go back to the letter again, because yeah, oh my gosh, I didn't even read this. Okay, so I read it, but I didn't, like, read closely. So, you make me nervous. How could anyone as great as you see any worth in someone like me? Like, so this person, even though they have this following or these amount of people, watching them, they don't feel, like, worthy. It's like empty admiration that people have for them. Yeah. Weird. Very interesting. Okay, so what we got so far is they really love you, and they're going to be hesitant to jump in right away because of their sensitivity, their secret sensitivity. I want to get a little bit more about like how this person comes off, because I don't feel like they come off like super gooey for some reason. I'm just getting the appearance of like someone who comes off very confident, very sure of themselves, but underneath they're just very, 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 very sensitive. Although they could come off like, you know, sad boy or something. I don't know. So how does this person come off? There it is. Okay, so they're definitely attractive. Makes sense if they're in the public eye. People would want to look at them. And yeah, okay, so they come out very perfectionistic. Yeah, very in line with destiny. So I'm getting that they do come off put together. With Virgo and Taurus, I don't think they come off with sloppy energy. They don't come off with super insecure energy either. It's something that is underneath. Yeah, they may even come off like a calm, sort of self-assured energy that is not necessarily a lie. It's just not who they are underneath. So I think part of this, when I said in the beginning that they'd want to build a home, is part of it is they need a sanctuary. I think I said that. Your home is your sanctuary. I think home is a place where they don't like have to keep the cameras rolling, or they don't have to keep up appearances. So home is very soft. Home is safe, and home is something they definitely want to build with a partner. Like, that's important. You having roots somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be where you're from or where they're currently at, but they are going to want to build roots. Let's see, am I seeing anything else here? Oh, and then with this Nourish Your Temple, yeah, I think this speaks to their physical attractiveness as well as like their dedication to their health. So maybe for some of you, they may be influencers or someone who is in the health industry of sorts, where their appearance is emblematic of what they do. Does that make sense? So for instance, you're less likely to take advice from an overweight doctor. And so they know that, and they wouldn't be. Therefore, most doctors, you would hope, are not overweight, because then if they're trying to advise you on your health, it's kind of like, well, take a look in the mirror. You know, you're not taking care of your own. So this person, whatever they do, I think they like to be an example of what that thing is. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. They're emblematic, like I said. They are like the face of something. I'm definitely getting that, like some sort of energy where they have some sort of renown. So either they're very far in their field, because I also feel like this could be like a science field or a health field, definitely, business, anything. But their face is known. Like, it might not be known worldwide, but it is known by a solid group of people. It's not like they're just an anonymous person you see and you're like, no one's ever heard of them. You know, if they had an obituary, not to be dark, but if they had an obituary, it would be one that people are like, oh my gosh, this person like passed away, even if it's just people, again, in their community. So, yeah. And then I'm going to get some messages. I have my own homemade deck out here, and they just have messages that I've written. So let's see what's messages. Yeah. Okay, I gave you the artist vibe. You are my views. Okay, they create art. I told you that. They're in the public eye. They definitely find you inspiring to what they do, and you may be the inspiration of a lot of their works and things. I want you in my life, yeah. And I'm dealing with my shadow side. So I think with betrayal and being in the public eye, I think it's difficult for them to navigate, because they are, empathic and a sensitive individual. So it can be rather difficult to deal with the public in some ways. And it's only because they're so loving that they're sensitive. And when they meet you, your future spouse, I think they find a lot of security. I don't know if your courtship will look like that, depending on your gender, or your leading up to commitment may be a little rocky with this person, or it probably won't be very traditional in sense of you meet someone, you go on a date, and then you're dating 2 weeks later. It's either going to take more time or you just go a completely different route. But once they are with you, they are with you. They're with you. There's no one else for them. They're not going to look for other people. They're not swiping on Tinder. Once they find you, they're done searching for someone to date. Right now, I feel like they're definitely feeling with some crap from their job or from a previous relationship fallout. So it's definitely going to be a source of grief for them because their breakup was something difficult. You know, when celebrities break up, it can be difficult because people still bring it up. For example, like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, like they broke up a while ago, but people still think about Brangelina. So I think people put them and whoever they dated together a lot, and so breaking away from that is difficult. And then it could either be the media as well, who paints them as a villain or has betrayed them. So they're really dealing with the public or the idea of being public and themselves and how they, I guess, operate or appear in the world. And so it feels like they're more in their shell right now. And you may meet them in a period where they're coming out of that very introspective, quiet period, and you're kind of what brings them out of their shell. And then when they meet you, it's kind of like you are the inspiration that gets them to start going again. Like they lost a lot of their inspiration for what they're doing. I don't know, this You Are My Muse and I Want You in My Life and the Five of Cups, it feels like they don't have a lot of love for what they do. Like they love what they do, they love creating, but they're not really feeling inspired by anything. And then you come along and then you spark that inspiration back into them. But it may just be a little while for them to commit because of other stuff they're dealing with. But that is all I'm seeing with. And I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you enjoyed the love letter and the reading, comment down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Just a quick note before we get started. The beginning of this is re-recorded audio because the first audio was not very good. It got messed up. So I've been having some issues with mics. I will be speaking through another voiceover for a bit and then it'll go back to the original. So hopefully it's not too distracting that the hand and movements don't really probably match the speech, but here we go. So, if you chose Buffalo Spirit, so we're going to start with the letter, and from there we will look at any other messages or things they want to tell you. So we're going to start with the letter. Dear love, not all that glitters is gold. Even SHT can come in a gold box. I will provide for you real substance. You won't have to worry about misrepresentation or lies, because I am 100% real. Always. It's a source of pride for me. I'm a hard ASS, but that's only because I know that the crap this life can throw at you, and I don't want you to have to worry about that. Remember, not all that glitters is gold, except you. Your shine is real, and so is your worth. I can't wait to meet you. Again, in parentheses. You have my love. Sign, your future spouse. It's funny because I just did pile 1. This almost feels like a response letter. It's as if you picked pile 1, then this is your response to them. These are kind of mirrors of each other, except this person has a potty mouth. I'm trying not to curse on this channel, but your person has a potty mouth. So they made it difficult. They had a lot of curse words in their letter. What else? They start with, Dear love, and you have my love. Something about this person feels Buffalo Spirit, but also Taurus, stubborn. They admit that. They say I'm a bit of a hard a-hole. I don't know. It seems like they know about real worth. Something about them feels like it understands where true value lies. This is not a person who goes after quick trends or get rich quick schemes or anything like that, or floozy people. If they engage in any of those activities, they know that it's 100% superficial because they have a real set of core values, and their core values are set. Whatever they believe in very strongly. Let's see if there's any indication of what they believe. I think they'll tell you. I mean, the letter says, I'm 100% real always. They have a bit of an ego, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think to be so real with other people, they have to be real with themselves. We're already getting a very honest, hardworking individual and someone who has their core values set and who they are, and it seems rather set who they are. It doesn't seem like someone who's going to go through major changes in life that are going to overnight change them into a different person. You know, this person knows who they are, and they know their value, and they know what they value out of life. And that can be different for everyone. Just for example, some of them may just value family. Family is the number one thing to them. Others of them, maybe they value making a lot of money. But if they value that, it's a very big value to them. And then another one could be spirituality. I feel as if this person has actual concrete values, not superficial values. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember where I left off. Hopefully the audio doesn't do it again. I'm working on getting a different mic, but until then, we have what we have. Anyway, so back into your reading. We're going to look at some other messages that they may have or things they may want to tell you about themselves. So any other messages from pile number, I feel like this was what they want to say. We have the Magician in reverse, the World card, the Three of Wands in reverse, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, for sure I feel Aquarius energy here for some reason. I know I said this person seems like very stable and very concrete. They do have the World with all the fixed signs, which just goes to show you like how stubborn and very much like their belief is their belief they can be. And I think it just speaks about like, this is the final card in the major arcana. And I just kind of feel as if your person is saying like they've seen it all, or they know what BS lies out there and they are beyond it. They're past that cycle in their life. They're not going to do that. They're not going to, entertain that kind of energy. Yeah, I feel as if they definitely have gone through trials, especially in terms of societal treatment or careers. I'm definitely hearing career, money stuff where people may have tried to play their things. Things just didn't come together the way they imagined they would. And so, this is what I see. When things didn't work in the world for them, this person receded into their psyche. This person receded into themselves to study themselves and grow as a person, which is why they have such an abundant mindset. Whether or not this person is financially well off, which I think if they are not, it is on their list to be, like they will be financially well off. They realize it's about love. I see an underlying value here of love, and whether that comes off through family or making a lot of money so they can supply for other people or working in a charity, love is something they prize and keep very close to themselves. Again, they talk about, I will provide for you real substance. You won't have to worry about lies. So yeah, they are, as I said, honest. And they want to provide for you the world. Like this person in particular is a provider. Divine masculine and feminine aside, I think this person does have more masculine energy. However, even if they're feminine, they want to provide you the home. This is a provider for sure. So I'm just going to see a bit about your spouse's past. I think we got a quite a message already about their past. Things not coming together the way they thought they would, because I'm really drawn to this Magician. And right next to the World, it was like by things not going the way they planned, they learned about things. But your spouse's past. What is the past? Thank you. So we Cups. Yeah, I'm hearing false promises. So something about a relationship they were in, a job they had, their home life was falsified in a sense. It wasn't sincere and honest. Someone else, I think in particular, was not sincere and honest with them, and it really ticked your future spouse off. They were not about that. And yeah, not all that glitters is gold. That they repeated that twice. It was weird when I wrote this letter because their opening line was not all that glitters is gold. And then they even tell you later on, they say, remember, not all that glitters is gold. With this judgment in reverse, I feel like they've seen both sides of it. I think they have seen people who are, look really nice, smell good, are successful or whatever, have really crappy characters or character traits, and then maybe people who don't look glamorous or who don't give off an appearance of sort, or maybe who seem a little rough around the edges have genuine hearts. Like when I tell you this person has seen it all, this person has seen it all. And it doesn't even, I have a feeling they have traveled, and I get the feeling with this Three of Wands, like even if they haven't, I think they like to travel. Whether or not they have actually traveled, I definitely feel in their mind they've traveled. So something else I'm getting now is that this person likes to read or watch movies or something that increases their understanding of the world. They really like to understand the world. I think that's something, to be in the world, they want to understand it. So yeah, and despite everything and how kind of hard ASS whole they seem or say, I get the feeling this person is actually not very judgmental at all. Again, I think they kind of have a tougher exterior, and I'm not saying they're like super sensitive and gooey inside like the first pile, but maybe it's more so that I think they can come off or seem more judgmental and less accepting than they actually are, which is interesting because most people, I think it's the reverse, where they can come off very, accepting and loving, but secretly they judge. This person's kind of the opposite. They might come off kind of judgmental and snap decision making and kind of freedom seeking. I don't know, just a very strong energy upon first meeting. But actually underneath that, they are the least judgment. Like I think because they've seen so much of the world, they know they are in no position to judge anyone. And so they're really working of freeing themselves of any preconceived notions they have about people. Again, I just keep hearing, and I just kept getting, not all that glitters is gold. And it seems like they're emphasizing this over and over again, even in their cards. Not everything is what it seems. And so something else I'm picking up is this person may practice magic, like actually practice magic, or they've experienced or seen too many coincidences to call them coincidences. How at some point there's that movie, I think V for Vendetta, where he says there's no such thing as coincidences. I think that's something this person believes. They've seen how things interact in this world with one another. I think that's something they have seen, how things interact, that they know too much of the magic of world to settle for any less. And I'm literally getting goosebumps. Yeah, they have seen too much to not know that things aren't always what they seem, or to make a lot of assumptions. Like this person, again, they may come off kind of like, oh, I think this, I think that, but actually underneath they don't make any assumptions. They reserve judgment until they get to know character. They've really gone through stuff in the past, and not necessarily heartbreak. I just think this person has put in self-work to develop self-worth, to figure out what matters to them, to figure out who they want to be in this world, how they want to operate in this world. Like, when I tell you this person is set, I tell you I'm a little jealous, because this person, they have it together. Like, they have it together. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking emotionally, I'm talking spiritually. Like, as far as character goes, this person is an absolute gem of an individual. I am... jealousy is a low vibration, but I'm a little jealous. So let's see any messages about how they like to give or receive love. Any messages about how they like to give or receive love. Pile number 2. How do they like to give? Oh, I feel like it's this one. And any other ones? Yep. All right. So we have aromatherapy and health checkup. So with the health checkup and aromatherapy, I do feel like this person likes to be, as much as they like to provide, like they're the provider, I think you'll find particularly when they don't feel good, they can be kind of babyish, like they like to be babied. I think that's something they don't necessarily voice with other people, but if you're close with them, you'll notice if they get sick, they're like, oh, can you get me some tea? I need some soup. Can I get a foot rub? Or if they won't say it, like they may not say all of those things, but that's intuitively how they feel. So I think particularly one of their love languages may be acts of service, but particularly when they don't feel good, they really like to be taken care of. They can deny it all they want because someone will be like, no, I'm fine, I don't care, like, they do have a very hard exterior, so they might be like, no, I don't care, I don't need anything. Or they may kind of shake you off if you bring them tea or breakfast in bed when they don't feel good, but they really, really appreciate that. So I think when this person doesn't feel their best, they really appreciate someone being supportive and helping them to feel better. That's definitely what I see with this health checkup, with giving and receiving love. In terms of aromatherapy, they seem as if their surroundings are very important to them. I'm seeing they may like food, so a really good home-cooked meal. Again, I'm getting more acts of service, but they may also like essential oils or just having something smell really nice. Ooh, I just heard something that may be really comforting to them is the smell of your cologne or perfume, or just the smell of the laundry detergent that you use. So they really enjoy I think they enjoy in particular your scent. Whatever your scent is, they really like it and it's comforting to them. Yeah. They may just have a thing for like clean linen is something I'm hearing, or linen, mint, something else, flowers. So to breathe in good air. So that's something else if they don't feel good. I think sometimes this person may not feel good because they may like just be in their head because they think so much or operate so much, that to get them out of their head, you might just have to take them outside. And once they smell fresh air and walk around a little bit, they'll feel better. And it's something I'm getting with this person, because they're so stubborn. As their partner, I don't recommend this necessarily all the time, okay? But you may have to be, the slightest bit manipulative or sly, like, oh, sweetie, I just really want to go for a walk. Can we go for a walk together? And they'll begrudgingly do it, and then once they get out, they'll be happy as a clam. So I definitely feel like their sickness, they're kind of a little bit of a burden, but I'm smiling throughout all of this, so I really feel that you find this trait of them endearing, because I think so often they're always on, right? They're always hard shell, they're always working, they're always trying to do things, expand their mind, give to other people, figure out more about the world, get everything in alignment, that when they are sick, it kind of gives you a chance, an excuse to kind of baby them and be a little more sappy, because I don't think this person is sappy on a day-to-day basis. They just don't operate like that. They're still loving, they're just not sappy. All right, and so yeah, and speaking of that, let's see how they come off. So how does your future spouse come off? Oop. Yeah, oh my gosh, look at this. So we have Aquarius energy again with Uranus. We have Libra in reverse, and we have Leo in reverse. So once again, I told you, they're very expansive in their mind. They see things in terms of the future. They are not looking at, like, they look at today, but they look at what things can be. And I think that's part of why they're so generous. Like, this person has an evolved mind, a very, very evolved mind. That is for sure. And it could be the result of travel. It could be the result of books. I wouldn't judge the way this person got their knowledge, but they did get it, however they got it, and because of that, they are often looking to the future, I believe, I keep coming back to, I know I've said this like 5 times, but not all that glitters is gold. It's just, it seems to be the epitome of what this person wants to say. Not everything is as it seems. Not everything we think is going to happen, right? There's always this unknown factor, this mystery that is life, This person is so exciting. I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying this reading so much. Okay. And then we have Libra in reverse and Leo in reverse. And I also feel like this speaks to the interior. They are very idealistic. They do see the world in terms of what things could be. And once again, you have this Libra in reverse, this Judgment in reverse. Like this person is so accepting, so accepting of, and I feel this all the way in my soul. Like this person is so accepting of how people just exist. Like they give people the freedom to exist. It randomly popped in my head, someone who, you know, goes to prisons, you know, multiple prisons, and talks to its tenants about what happened to get them there. Like this isn't a person, if you went to jail or if you did something wrong in your life, to just judge you and say, oh, like, you know, you ruined your own life, sucks to suck, figure it out. No, this is a person like, let's figure out how you got here. Let's figure out what we can do to get you out of here. They're very solution oriented as well. Yeah, so they come off, I think they come off in their head, since this is how they come off. They come off very in their head, and yeah, just not in the present. So I think if you meet this person, like they're in the present, but it seems like they work really hard, so you won't feel like their attention is on you necessarily, because they're just thinking a lot, man. They got a lot going on here. And then with Leo, I think they do stand out. I think something about them, I think because they think so much and they're so far forward, they definitely stand out. And so people really like to, I think this person is also attractive. You know, this is your future spouse. But people really, I think people notice them. They're just, you know, they're in a whole other world. So let's see what messages they have for you. What message does pile 2 have? Okay, and I feel one more. I'll write songs about you. So I think they do have a creative side. They could be writers. I kind of got that with the 3 of Wands. I have our connection is beyond just physical. And I feel like I have to compete for your affections. So I don't know who you are, but you may also be very poppin', because they seem to think that they are not the only one in the picture. And I think that's also what they mean with not all that glitters is gold. I think, again, your future spouse may be pile 1. Pile 1 and pile 2, they seem like mirrors of each other almost, where one is one person and the other is obviously the other person, right? Because you can't be, whatever. Don't listen to me sometimes. Okay, and then our connection is beyond just physical. Yeah, they feel, and this person is not superficial. I told you their values are very set, very, very wise. So they're not attracted to just superficial, dumb things, right? They look for depth. This person looks for depth. So I think with you, they definitely feel there's no way they were going to get married or, you know, connect with someone who didn't connect with them on more than one level, on a way that feels fulfilling, I think, to their soul. And because of that, you may also inspire a lot of writing for this person if they are a writer, or a lot more, you spark more of their generosity. I think they're already a generous person, but with you, it just goes the extra mile. So I'm running a little bit over, but that's all I have for you guys. I absolutely love this reading. I could talk about your person for another hour probably, but I'm not going to do that. So if you enjoyed this video, comment down below, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye. Oy vey. Let me tell you, pile 3, I've been going through it. This is okay, we're gonna keep going. I am still having audio issues, so if this video cuts out part way and it gets weird and it switches to a different sound, or if you see that my gestures don't match my hands, it is because I've had to re-record the audio at least a dozen times. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but you know, here's to hoping, folks. Hopefully I'll get this fixed by the next reading. So we're gonna start with your letter. Dear, your name. Everything is clear when you're here and hazy when you're not. We're goofy together, and when I'm with you, I realize life doesn't have to be so serious or hard. It can be light, fun, and deep. You showed me that. You're beautiful and or handsome. I know you don't believe it or me when I tell you, but you are. Even a blind man could sense your beauty. It's in everything you do, from how you sit, to how you blink, to taking a sip of water. I get lost in your eyes, and yet it's like I finally found myself when I'm with you. So thank you. I love you. More with every breath. You are precious to me. Signed, their name. Okay. So when I was channeling this particular message, I definitely felt that this person has a sense of clarity with you. That's what you bring to your future spouse's life. Automatically the giraffe, I know I didn't do physical attributes in the other piles, but I do feel like your person is on the taller end, or something about them is just rather lanky and extended. not, doesn't have to be necessarily, but I do feel just a sense of length. And even if they're not physically tall, their energy or their posture is just very upright. I think they have beautiful posture. The way they talk about what you do, the way they watch you, it's interesting. It's very oriented around physical movement. So this person may be someone who is into fitness or dances. I don't know why I'm seeing dances, because giraffes seem like they wouldn't be good dancers, but I get dancing. And yeah, they may have very soulful eyes, or they find your eyes attractive. I don't know why so many physical attributes are coming through, but let's see what other messages they have or things they want to tell you about themselves. All right, let's see. So any other messages for... Yep. Okay. We have the Tower and the Four of Cups. This is the first time I don't feel like I'm hearing about them. I feel like this... Well, I am hearing about them. Never mind. All right, so I feel for them, they're going through a Tower moment internally. I don't know if you know this person. It almost seems like you do. This isn't for all of you. Obviously, some of you may not have met your spouse yet, but I feel for at least a chunk of you, you already know this person. Something about this seems, and even their letter, it's like, you know, they know you very well. If you haven't met yet, then this spouse will know you very well. That's the best I could tell you. Like, they will know you very, very well. So I think currently in their life, they are struggling with themselves and their emotions and their energy. I just get the idea of someone not... Things are confusing for them. Like, things are hazy for them right now. A lot of things, I think, don't add up or make sense to this person. And they just... It's like they keep missing the point. That's what I keep seeing. Like, oh, you're missing the point. Like, the point is this cup. Or the point is the crown on top of the Tower of Babel, but you keep missing it. Like, they don't see things clearly. And so if this is someone you're in separation with, or, you know, but you're not dating, it's like they're not aware yet, maybe, that you are their spouse, future spouse. You know, they're missing the point. But if you haven't met this person yet, then whatever they're going through in their own life, again, they are still missing the point. I just keep getting, they're missing the point. So let's see any other messages. Things about themselves they want to tell you. Anything about themselves they want to tell you? One more. Anything about themselves? Two more. All right, I'm going to take this one. Okay. Okay, so this may be someone who's very focused on their career or just acquiring things right now. I feel someone kind of not necessarily in player energy, but just focused on the wrong things. Like, they are not seeing clearly right now. I think that's what I feel personally for this particular reading. This person's higher self is speaking to you, and maybe speaks to you quite often, but their physical counterpoint in this world, like their higher self, I just see their higher self shaking their heads like, I can't help you, man. My 3D self is just on some crap right now. So I think their higher self, like I said, with this letter, their higher self knows what's up. But whoever they are right now in their life, they are very unbalanced, uncertain. They're not set yet. This could be because they're younger, or they may be going through Saturn return, or they could just be going through a really life change. They could be moving to a new country. They could be, you know, they could have had a death of a parent or a friend, or really just this whole coronavirus pandemic has them messed up, but they are just currently not in their best state. And I think why you're hearing this is because their higher self wants you to know that they see clearly, right? Like on the 5D, they see clearly, but they're like, my 3D bro is not doing it. So let's see what about their past, because currently they're not at the best spot. Even if they're, you know, you're dating, because this is a future spouse, you could already be in a relationship. It may be that you guys are just going through a bit of a rough patch where it seems like you guys have different priorities at this time. This may be a connection that needs a break if it is one that's already started. However, again, a lot of you may not have even met your spouse yet. I can't tell that. So if you haven't met your spouse yet, just know, like, I think when you do meet, they're going to explain to you all of these things that they've gone through, because it's quite a bit. And even if in the physical world, it doesn't seem like anything's happening, you know, it's not like anything anything big happened, like their uncle got shot or something. It's internally they felt a lot of shifts in confidence, in priorities, in just lifestyle. So let's see about their past self though. Oops. Yeah, look at all the Ten of Swords. Okay, anything else from their past self? And the Four of Cups again. Yo, okay. Yeah, I do feel a big chunk of separation, or, you know, you could even just be friends with this person and not even in a relationship. Yeah, but with the Ten of Swords coming up from their past self, they have a lot of wounds, and part of that, what they may be doing now is running, or, you know, see they're jumping off this tower, not actually acknowledging the pain they're in and finding ways to distract themselves. I think that's something. They're finding whatever they can to not face the truth within themselves, or they've done that in the past. Yeah, I think they think by chasing security, like, oh, if I just go get girls, you know what I mean, or get money, or get whatever, this new iPhone, then that'll fix everything. It'll be good then. And what people find, you know, when they do eventually achieve those things, is that it didn't fix anything, because if the problem is something internal, until you deal with your internal issues, you're not going to fix something broken by just putting a bow on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you actually have to do the work. And so I think this person is putting a band-aid on pain. Yeah, look at this. Queen of Swords is crying. Like, they don't want to acknowledge parts of themselves. I think it's too hard for them right now. And we all go through different points. And I think that's very important, that we don't judge someone for where they're at on their journey, because, you know, this is your future spouse. And based on this letter, they're goofy when they're with you. They're not being so serious. They're not, you know, they're really, I mean, it seems as once you get married or once they're committed to you, they're very much about you. You become a very big part of their world. But until that point, right, a lot of us have to go through things. Like, we are not stagnant individuals. There has to be trials and errors that we work through. I think this person in particular has to work through their feelings, their sense of self-worth, any childhood traumas they've gone through, any pains that they've felt from other people. I think really evaluating what their priorities are. And again, right now, they just don't have those in a good position. So this person right now, and in their past, has had just a lot of things not be quite the way they wanted it to, but they just don't get it. Like, I just hear the spirit team being like, yeah, man, they just don't get it. It's like they are colorblind, and so they can't see the red on the stop sign. And so, like, they see stop, but they think it's green, and that means go. And so it's like confusing to them, because you gotta, it says stop, but it's green, and doesn't green stand for go? And so I think your person is a little bit confused about what's going on. And so it makes sense their priorities would be wrong. And I think they've also kind of not necessarily ignore spirituality or the spiritual side of life, but they don't, like, looking at that, I think, is kind of scary, which it can be, because if you know anything about getting close to the divine, it can have consequences, especially if you don't do it, you know, safely. So I think this person has a lot of fears. Let's see. Any other messages about how they like to receive love or their self-care? Any messages? Any other messages? I feel like it's this one. Chanting. Yeah, I think this person gets caught up in oh, that's something else. I didn't even think about it. Okay, with this chanting, this person may get caught up in other people's energy. So if they are around negative influences, they become the negative influence. And this is actually a benefit, because if you're around the right people, imagine how amazing you can be. But if you're not currently surrounded by the correct people, then, right, you feed into that energy and you become what you're around. So I think this person has a tendency to become their surroundings, and that is, you know, a very great thing about them, but that can also be really negative. I think that's why they enjoy you so much, because you're an actual good influence on them. But yeah, they're not currently in that energy. But for self-care, I think they do enjoy I hear like screamo concerts or loud. They enjoy making noise. I think this is a person who likes to express anger. I by no means see anything violent, but, you know, some people just like to yell. I personally am a yeller, and I can yell out of love. I can yell out of anything. And I think this person likes to use their voice. They enjoy speaking. Like, they'll probably like debating, and yeah, I don't know. I just see them like at a game, a sports game, like yelling, like, "Oh, come on, ref!" You know, they they like to they like to use their voice, or even if they play video games, you know, laughing with their friends. They really like to, I think, converse and communicate. And then once again, sound healing. Yeah, so music and sound is very important to this person. Maybe they're a musician, I don't know, but they like to hear and they like to speak. And they like to, you know, all of that whole interaction. So music may be something else that they might make you a playlist. I just heard that. So they may make you a playlist. That's part of how they share their feelings, is through music. And then let's see what they come off as, because we know that people do not always come off as they are. So what do they come off as? What does pile 3's, there we go. All right, take these two. You know what, we'll just take all 4. Okay, so we have opposition, balance, Leo, 7th house, and Mars. Yeah, this person comes off with, like, you know, I'm the S-I-H-T-S-S. What did I just spell? Hello. Can you spell only Oracle? Maybe. The S-H-I-T. You know, this kind of person thinks they're, they can come off quite cocky. This is, every time I do pick a card readings, I get one pile that is like a Wattpad fan fiction. Why? Yeah, this person kind of has that energy where they come off kind of cocky, I think. I think they come off player. Like, even with the 7th house relating and Mars action, I think they come off as a player. So I think that very big player energy that they come off as, attractive. Like, this is a playboy or playgirl, y'all. They're not going to be when they marry you. Again, they are very, I think that's part of it too, is once they exhaust all their options, you know how sometimes you have to know what you don't want to know what you want? Once this person exhausts all their options and realizes that the meaningless flings or the meaningless connections with just very pretty people don't actually bring them fulfillment, they'll be looking for something sincere, because I see here with the 7th house that they do want a partnership, like an actual partnership. I just don't think, again, they're just on a path right now, and they got to just get through it. You know, we all have to go through different things. I think for this person in particular, they like to try things, and so they need to try out what they don't like to figure out what they do like. Yeah, they come off, they have loud energy, man. This definitely feels like an extrovert. Yeah, very fire sign energy. So that is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And then I also have Libra here, and Libras can kind of be playboy, playgirls as well, because they're so attractive. So they can have any of those in their sun, moon, or rising, or Mars or Venus. But I do feel, or their 1st house, maybe even their 7th house, to be honest. But yeah, they definitely have a playful energy right now. And then let's get some of their messages to you. I know you guys had the playboy pile, and I know people aren't gonna like that, but like, who doesn't want a reformed playboy turn good, right? Like, who doesn't want the bad boy that's gone good for me? I don't know. I think it's appealing. It's just they have to get through what they have to get through. If you know this person, guy or girl, right now would not be the time to try and get them to be hubby or wifey. You know, they're just not in that energy. But they will be. I just don't think they're there right now. So any of their messages for you. Ooh. Can you blame me? You see what I'm saying? Words of affirmation, and you are beautiful to me. Okay. Can you blame me, though? With this, can you blame me? I'm like, you playing games out here, pile 3. Like, they're playing games. And then you are beautiful to me. I think this just goes to show that once they commit to you, or even if you don't know them, they will find you very beautiful when they meet you. That's automatically, or handsome. They're going to be very attracted to you when they meet you. If you do know them, and this is like someone you're in separation with, or just, you know, whatever, I'm not going to get into your situationship, they find you very attractive. Like, you're probably, I'm hearing you're the best I ever had, but, you know, people got to do what people got to do. And words of affirmation, again, this person likes to talk. This person likes word. And I feel like I've been talking nonstop during this reading, and I still have more to say. It's like, oh, you think I'm done? No, I'm not done. I still got more to say. This individual really
yeah, they have a way with words, I think, and that can be also a good or a bad thing, because if they are loving, they can really turn things to sound really good, but if they're not, they can sound really bad. But also, this person likes to be supported through words, so if you say something like, oh, if something goes wrong and you just support them with your words, it means a lot to them, and I think it helps them feel more confident. So that is all I'm seeing for you guys. I feel like there is a lot more to say. Maybe I will do like a super extended reading on your future spouse, like an hour long each. If you are into that, comment down below. And other than that, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye. Okay, pile 4, my final pile. Last but certainly not least, the turtle. Slow and steady wins the race. I think that is a testament to how both your relationship will go and just your life together in general. When I was channeling a message for this pile, which I will read in a second, I felt like your journey is, it doesn't feel like it takes that long. It actually feels like it's pretty seamless, but I think to either you or your partner, it feels like it's taken for freaking ever. Like you could only be 20 and you might meet them when you're 23. That's not that long, but to you, up until the age of 23, it felt like forever, felt like forever until you got to meet them. Or maybe you might not meet them till later in life, maybe you're very focused on your career. Either way, let's read the letter. I found this very funny too. Your person didn't say dear, write a header for their letter. They just jumped right into it. So let's go. Effortless. That's how it feels with you. All my life, I felt like I've had to swim against the current. And then you came into my life and taught me how to float, what it meant to float. It's magical when I'm with you, and I often give psychic messages and see or hear synchronicities surrounding you. I know I found the person whose hand I'll hold as we walk through life. I never quite believed in soulmates, but you proved their existence to me. So much more I want to say, but I'd rather just tell you. Take your time. We will be together soon. I love you. Their name. So yeah, like I said, right away, it was funny to me that they just jumped right into it. Effortless, and I felt like that was the word that they would use to sum up being with you. So I don't know what their previous relationships were like or how long it's going to take them to reach you, but once they have you, once you guys are together, you're just like gliding along the current. What else? Yeah, this person is one you have. That was something else I got during this reading. In fact, it was only this pile in particular that you guys get messages from each other already. Like you guys you psychically, you talk on the 5D and you talk very often. Even if you don't know of each other in the 3D or in this particular lifetime, this is definitely a past life relationship or someone, that you have a very, very psychic connection with. Again, I get the feeling with the water that you don't necessarily have to even talk. This is one of those connections where you could have, mental conversations without actually saying anything out loud, which is super cool. I really like that. And so this is a deep, deep connection, and it feels lighthearted. That's the funny thing about it, is it's a very deep connection, but it doesn't, on the surface, it's light. You know what I mean? It feels, they say what it meant to float. It's a heavy connection, but it doesn't feel heavy. And I think that's the key. So let's see what other messages they have or anything they want to tell you about themselves. So any other messages or things you want to tell? Yep, okay. They do want to tell you things. They said that in the letter. King of Swords and 3 of Wands. Okay, so right away I'm hearing leave. This is so weird. Why are you saying that, Spirit? Leave. I think this is someone who is at a distance from you. Like they may be an ocean away from you, or something about the ocean being a separator between the two of you. But I heard the word leave. So I don't know where you're located, but maybe you're supposed to leave your country to go to them. And even with this 3 of Wands expansion, like setting a plan to actually go, looking out on the horizon, looking out beyond. Yeah, this feels like this person is like an ocean away. And it seems like from their letter, you're coming to them, whoever you are watching this. Like you are going to where they're at. Not that they won't come to where you're at, but that it seems like they're more rooted where they're at, or they have more set up there, and you would be traveling there kind of without much, but going. And I think that's also why they said at the very bottom, it's funny, they said, take your time. We will be together soon. So if you've been planning a move, that might be something that brings you closer to this person or is a part of your journey. But they also said take your time. So there's no rush for you to get there. Which again, if you're younger, you know, it takes time to establish yourself. And it takes time, if you're in college or something, then you would have to graduate school first before you decide to leave. Are there any other messages? Anything about themselves they want to tell you? Yep. All right. We have the Queen of Cups. Let's move this over. We have Queen of Cups, Seven of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. For some reason, I feel like they work with a nonprofit or something. They work with something that definitely involves giving back. I think in particular, their job has something to do with giving back. Like, they're a very generous individual. I don't know, maybe you meet doing some weird, you know, feed the homeless or the hungry somewhere. And that's because they have a lot of heart. Like, this person has very strong intuitive sense and a very emotional way that they relate to this world. Water keeps coming up in this reading. So I feel as if they have water somewhere in their chart, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But even if they don't have water in their chart, their emotions lead them. Except not in a negative way that's like, oh, I get angry and I go punch walls. No, it's like I follow my intuition. So guy or girl, this person follows what they feel is right. And sometimes it's hard to discern with your emotions because emotions are not always the best indication for our path. And I think because of that, sometimes they can get into trouble because they'll follow their emotions, but it leads to them getting like kind of stabbed in the back, or they try and do the right thing, but it's not reciprocated by other people. Let's look into their past because I'm definitely feeling that energy in particular, that they've like trusted their heart and it's led to betrayal, or it's led to people, you know, stabbing them in the back. Their past. Yep. Okay, we have these Eight of Swords, sorry, and the Fool. Yeah. Okay, so this person in particular, it feels like every pile's been betrayed, but like, who hasn't been betrayed in life? I mean, you know what I mean? It'd be like that sometimes. But this person in particular, oh, whoa, that's there again. Okay, lots of messages. Hang on. So, this person in particular has definitely been betrayed before not by their emotions, but by someone manipulating their emotions, because that's something else too. I mean, it's a big thing in politics, and maybe in politics as well, or even marketing, to, you know, use people's emotions against them. If you've ever seen like those dog commercials, like in the arms of an angel, like it's meant to tug at your heartstring, and then they show you all these sad dogs. Like, it's not funny, but it's just, I think that has happened to this person before, where because they're so emotional and intuitive and giving, they might have been betrayed, you know, by that, or lured into false promises because of that. Yeah, and so in the past, I think they might be from somewhere else too, and they might have settled where you are. That's something else too. There's something here about international travel where it's like they are not from the same place you are, or they're just, the culture they're from is very different from you. So even if, you know, say their parents are immigrants and live in the country, they speak another language natively at home, and then, you know, they've learned English or whatever, and that's what they speak, but they, you know, they have a different culture, like a different set. And this could also be that they haven't been betrayed. I'm also getting this, but their parents have been, and they've seen how they've gotten, like, they've seen that, and because of what they've seen, they're guarded. Yeah, oh my gosh, if this is the child of immigrants, then that also makes sense, where they say, you know, all my life I've had to swim against the current. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So like all their life, you know, if they are, maybe they're undocumented or something. It feels like they've had to fight a lot. Like they've had a lot of grit in their upbringing. And I think part of that is just because they're such a generous, giving, loving soul that people have tried to take advantage of that. I just feel like people trying to manipulate their emotions is something very apparent. and that I don't think they can do that as much anymore, obviously, but I think in their past, for sure, they were manipulated by emotions, sucked up into things that they shouldn't have been because of their generosity. So for sure, this is a generous and giving person. Okay, so that is a bit about their past. So let's see any messages about how they like to give or receive love. All right, any messages for pile 4 about how they like, okay. Burning ritual. Ooh, yes. Okay, so this person, enchanting. Yeah, this person really likes to release things. With this burning bowl ritual, it feels like they don't like to be angry. This isn't a person who enjoys the emotion anger. They don't want to experience anger. And so when things don't go the way they plan or they feel sad or something, they try to let it go ASAP. Like, they do whatever they got to do. And I'm hearing that. Like, I do whatever I have to do to let that go because I don't want that hatred burning inside of me. You know, I don't want resentment building in me because I don't get the energy of someone resentful, of someone who hates everything life has thrown at them. Like, on the contrary, they're very still kind and generous. It's inspired them, their own struggles inspired them even more to make sure other people don't suffer. Oh my gosh. Wow, what a kind, sorry, I'm just thinking, what a kind soul. Yeah. So they really don't want other people to suffer. I think that is something beautiful about them, is after their hardships, they didn't close themselves off and say, well, that sucks. I went through hard things. You should go through hard things too. In fact, it became the opposite. It became, I've gone through hard things. I'm going to make, darn sure that I can keep other people from going through things that I went through. That is such a beautiful energy. And I think part of something else is I think this person may have actually gone to therapy for certain things. Like, not anything major necessarily, any big disorder, but just maybe they struggled with depression after they felt betrayed, or they've had anxious thoughts. So they've tried to actually sort through it. And I think talking to their therapist or talking to a friend, like someone to help, helps them to feel better when they don't feel very good. I think they also like words of affirmation, and based on this letter, like, they jumped right into it. They're like effortless. I think they may also like to write down how they feel. They may journal about it. And then finally, let's see how they come off. How do they come off? How does pile 4's person come off? Yeah, I do think this person is pretty abundant. Even if they don't, like, if they're not rich, it's because they chose not to be rich. You get what I mean? Like, it's not like they're not rich because they just settled in some job they hated. They're not rich because, maybe they left money to go do a nonprofit or to go overseas and work with people. It's because if they're not rich, it's because their heart is so kind and their priorities are just different. Okay. So we have Taurus, and then it fell on the ground. We have third house. I think they do come off soft too. Like, that was something else. This person doesn't put up a front. They're not that type of person. What you see is what you get. I think they have their own protective shell, a little bit like a turtle, that sometimes they might be rather introverted or take time for themselves because they are so loving and soft, and I think empathic. And when you are that way, it can get difficult to cope with the world's demands or how the world can be. And so they may recede into themselves a lot or into their comforts. And that could be food, could be television, could be their makeup or jewelry or something that they have, like something in particular that they find very comforting to them in times of stress that they turn to. But yeah, they are I think an earthly attractiveness or water attractiveness. And they come off patient, like they come off kind. They have no pretense. I don't think they feel they have the need to, because they're so genuine. No pretense whatsoever. No fronts. It's just what you see is what you get. So I think if you meet this person, it's actually going to be rather surprising. And you may actually think, well, don't they have something underneath? Like, maybe they're secretly, awful, or I don't know, they steal bracelets from the store. No, they don't do any of that. They're very decent folk. And so I think the perception of them can get a little distorted at times because people aren't sure how to handle someone so genuine. And I think that's also something that got them betrayed, is that people thought things about them that weren't true because they, they're just so kind. Like, not a lot of people are like this. I think they're actual earth angels. They are straight up earth angels. So let's see their messages to you. Okay. Yeah. So they're protective of you. And I think what that goes to show is that I do think, so I told you this person is very soft. They don't seem like they're the angry type. I think if you harm someone they love a lot, they will go bananas on you. Like, you know, the type of people that seem really gentle. You're like, no, they never hurt anyone. And then you do something to someone they love, and they're just like, you're like, ooh, I didn't know you were like that. Like, I didn't even know you were capable of doing that. I think that's how they feel about you. Like, they're so protective of you. They want you to stay safe. You know, they want you to be happy. And so if someone ever tried to take that away from you, this person's ready to throw hands. Like, this person would, you know, there's not much they would do. Like, they're very protective of you and keeping you safe. And even if they're not necessarily like, okay, I'm gonna throw hands, they're just very protective. I don't have the strength to stay away and coming back to you. Yeah, this imagery keeps coming to me of them being somewhere far away from you, and that this is maybe, you know, a past life relationship. They said in their letter, I didn't believe in soulmates, but you proved their existence to me. So something about this feels like, as I said, you guys psychically already connect. So it's not as if, even if you don't, whether you've met them or not, it's whenever you do meet them, it's not as if you're meeting, it's as if you're joining again, you know, because you already know each other. And it's inevitable. I think that's why they say take your time. I don't have the strength to stay away. It's going to happen. Like, this pile in particular, you will get married. Like, you will meet this person. It's going to happen. Like, the way it sounds is it's quite frankly inevitable. Like, you're going to meet them. No if, ands, or buts. It's just a matter of when. And that's why they said take your time. So that is all I'm seeing for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, comment down below. And like I said in the previous pile, actually, this was so fun and I actually had a lot more to say. So maybe I will do an extended reading on this. If you're interested, comment that below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.